So one more damnable video for y'all. So I want to make it clear that I'm an honorary trans person. I'm an honorary transgender person. Because I've been treated as such, you know? I guess I'm an honorary gay person. Because I've been treated as such. By the CIA. From childhood. They just wanted what they wanted out of me. You know, they've gotten a lot. They've taken a whole hell of a lot from me. But you know, I'm gonna try to just cut them off. You know, no more blood for you. No thing. No, let me pull this out. Patch this up. Have you ever seen a man's head get twisted off? I have. I saw it with my own two eyes. My own two eyes. In first person mode. Like a video game. You can do a little bit of, you know, tearing, cutting and tearing with your teeth to make it a little easier. Just twisting and twisting and twisting and twisting and twisting and twisting does it. I mean, that's what awaits, you know, people who suffer little children. Oh, that and far worse things, I'm sure. At any rate, I mean, if people, if low-class people, you make it the assumption that you're in some kind of alternate category with respect to your sexual preference or your gender identity. Why, what they'll do, they'll cheat you, they'll lie to you, mislead you about 1,000 things, they'll sabotage you. They'll, you know, they'll even pretend to be your friend and pretend that they've got some wonderful mission for you. And meanwhile, they'll have drugged you with some hypnotic drug. And then they program you, and then you become their mind-controlled slave. That happened to me. Interestingly. Oh, and I have one recollection, like 10 seconds of, you know, being somebody's sex slave. Yeah, it was interesting that during the time period where that must have occurred, that I was, you know, in my conscious life, I was, you know, frequently contemplating suicide. So that altar that had been created through extreme trauma at the age of 7, I mean that altar was female, and she, you know, didn't mind doing that, but I certainly minded it, and I would have never, in my conscious, you know, front personality, been interested in any sort of thing such as that. So anyway, you know, all this kind of thing happens, you know, because of the extreme sense of limitation that the low class folks have, and all the deprivations educational and economic deprivations which they have been subjected to. So they feel like whenever at all possible, they should X somebody out of the population. They feel like you are their they initially, why this was done to me, people thought that I was a competitor. People thought that I had simply won some fights in the neighborhood. I had not attacked anybody. I had simply defended myself, and kids were getting pitted against one another, and it's just what was happening, and so I was seen as ultimately a sexual competition. So I should be taught a lesson that I'll never forget. In that way, then I'm isolated. I'm socially rejected, and they can cheat me. They can cheat me and screw me over and utilize me in all different ways for the rest of my life. And so I'm not making some case that everybody in some kind of LGBT category is born out of trauma, as the result of a bad nurturance, But that's kind of my perspective. That's been my experience, I think it takes a whole heck of a lot to get somebody to abandon their natural attraction to the opposite sex, and or see themselves, and or sort of idealize and empathize to such an extent with the opposite sex that they sort of take on a alter personality. They form an alter personality, as a way of kind of like preserving that value, in a kind of a twisted way, shall we say. That's just my perspective. I'm just speaking for myself, And just now, a little ringing in my ear, One of the little implant systems is active. These fuckers. Yeah, haven't been able to cross all the microcircuitry and degrade it with the weak little EMP generator I've got. I would like to make like a phone booth size one, and really blast the hell out of myself. It won't hurt. I mean, maybe some of them will explode, and that might hurt, but. In fact, that might have been what happened like a week ago. Yeah, that's that big sparking like explosion that I felt. It was actually in like embedded like in like my gluteus, one of my glute muscles, interestingly, and I cried out at that time. I actually cried out. I was in a public place, and I turned, I thought somebody had shocked me with a stun gun or something. Yeah, it was, at any rate, I just, I think, the other thing, they some people, come at you from a pseudo-religionist angle, and they say, well, this guy's going to hell anyway. He's hell-bound anyway, so, it doesn't matter what you do to him, And, anyway, that's interesting. That's mighty Christian of them. That's what Jesus would do, I'm sure, Yep. yeah, that's about all I got, friends. But I have not appreciated it, and it makes a man murderously angry at times. Just let you know, all this stuff. People, poison me, all kinds of. They drugged me, all kinds of shit. Microwaved me. Yes, with a microwave emitter, which is a 1950s technology. It's plenty of documented uses of microwave emitters, directed energy weapons, electromagnetic directed energy weapons. Plenty of them. Plenty of documentation for that. Yeah. It's not just like a fictional a weapon in Fallout 3, okay? It's a real thing. So anyway, I just haven't appreciated all the hate crimes, guys. Maybe you could do lay off, And if you're ever caught, I will ensure that you're charged and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I will. Because of your perception that there's something different about me, when in reality there's never been anything remotely different about me. Thanks so much for watching.